Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Muse Jester. My name is Junior. Today we're going to be reviewing Sorceress Teela and Skeletor with the Techno Havoc arm. We're going to do two reviews today really quickly. So here is Sorceress Teela. Close up on that head. An interesting design. We got some sort of hawk head piece over there. Or falcon head piece. And there's a flowy hair. I'm not a fan of the cape because previously I think they would have done like a two fabric cape where it's just white and gold. At least that's what they were doing earlier before. But now it just kind of looks cheap. But I suppose the way it drapes, I guess it kind of drapes naturally. But just I don't know. And I don't know, but it always seems as if they always make their heads sit shorter on the shoulders. Like the neck is not long enough. I don't know if that's correct or not. It just seems like that to me. But you got some different coloration of plastic over here. I think this is just bare plastic, but it's nice and clear. And then it shows that she has some sort of furry underlayer shirt underneath here for the arms. That's kind of cool detail. Some sort of bicep bands, some arm bands. It's an interesting design for Sorceress Teela. Of course, it's a new design, so it's kind of hard to always try. I'm always seeing the older designs, so getting used to these new designs. I guess I'm just getting old in that way. And then this part is bare plastic as well, and I think it's just painted white. Let's look at the articulation. Of course, this is hindered by this arm over here, but it moves well enough. See, there's that kind of supposedly fabric underneath there. The bicep swivel, double jointed on the elbows. Turn on the wrist, but it does have that peg that allows it to move inward like that. Same thing with this one. I do like the fact that the bands over here are sculpted in, so it's not loose. I don't think there was any need to have it loose, separate piece anyway. That armor, back and forth. Trying to see if she has a drop down. She does. So let's see. How that is very this. Let's see. That's why I'm not such a big fan of this particular design, because I felt like it's gonna hinder her articulation. But I'm trying to wonder, is that hindrance by this cape, or just there's something wrong with the articulation? Let's try the other side. See, this one seems to go up a little bit more, being pushed back by that. I suppose there's really no reason to have her be kicking that high. Trying to see if there's something wrong with my peg joint, because see, it feels like there's something wrong with my joint. Yeah, that is just so restrictive. Yeah, there's no reason for you to pose a figure like this anyway, but still feels like it's very restrictive. The thigh swivel, have the double bend knee. You have the design of the boots, it's nice. Up and down on the ankle. You have the swivel, so that's pretty cool. And she comes with the staff. And the staff does have front, the front over here and in the back, so that's kind of cool. Man, this white is so white. There you go. There's a detail that you can see. It's nicely detailed. It's actually got individual feathers on the bird. I think this is almost the exact. It is pretty much the exact same staff that the sorceress figure that we got, and then she comes with these two hands. These hands are actually kind of looking nice because the individual detail on the fingers. They seem pretty cool to me. Oops. See, the detail on the hands actually are pretty cool for this size. And she can hold her staff easy enough. I don't know why when I was watching this show I wasn't really a big fan of the of her turning into the sorceress Teela. I mean, as the daughter of the sorceress, eventually I suppose it gets to her, but I like Teela the way she was as the a soldier or in her own right, you know. And of course, now that since she became the sorceress, she the old sorceress kind of died, which is I'm not a big fan of that development in the story. So comparing her to the old Teela, one of the things I do like to note is the fact that she does kind of look like the old Teela. So there's a continuation in the sculpt, as you can see, with the same kind of downturned, not pouty lips, kind of like grumpy lips. Yeah. So comparing her now with her mother, it's not like a generic face, female face. I mean, you can see there's a definitely different portrait done on the sorceress. So with these two, it shows that it's the same person with a different costume. So that's pretty cool. Well, I didn't realize her hair colors actually changed. The paint application on the hair is kind of there with darker shades on the shadows, but it kind of feels splotchy. Paint is minimal, but it's there, I suppose. The red here in the middle, oops, is interesting because it gives it a different color. But I still prefer the sorcerers over here. This is a custom cut that I did in the sorcerers. I just didn't like the long one, the newer style. So that's it for Sorceress Teela. Let's go on to Skeletor Techno Arm Havoc. Techno Havoc Arm. So when I saw the reviews on this one, I wasn't really too enthusiastic about it. Having this Techno Havoc arm, I wasn't too keen on. But while it was in packaging, I was looking at the head sculpt. And I kind of thought this design, I also didn't like that, but the head sculpt itself, the skull, might be too close. There you go. The skull itself is very interesting. It's very fascinating. It's very scary, and I really, really wish that this sculpt, the skeleton head, was a full sculpt, and somehow this could be removed, or I guess it'd be too much to ask for fabric because I don't think it can pull off the shape as well. But I'm really, really interested in that sculpture of the face. So I think that's the best feature in this whole sculpture. Again, with the new design, I'm not sure if I'm fully embracing it, especially since we don't really know what's going on with this figure. Because as you saw, it does come with this crown, and I don't know what this crown is all about. So we knew on the was it Revelations that Skeletor became Skelegod and kind of almost conquered Eternia, and now he's been turned into this digitized by motherboard. So even when I saw the design of this particular character, I wasn't too impressed by it. Um, I like, I guess I like my Masters of the Universe old school style. So having this in hand, the articulation. We'll start with this big thing. Which I'm gonna call it big monstrosity because I'm not a big fan of it. I do like the fact that the jaw of the Havoc head articulates. Um, and then this part, I suppose. But then, so the arm, I thought it wasn't gonna be articulated, but and then the way it felt, I sort of suspected it's a bendy arm, but I didn't see any of the puncture holes that's usually associated with bendy arms to make it more pliable or more bendable. But it is supposed to articulate, but it's so stiff, and it doesn't help that it's basically the design is these three coiled rubber, because that I think that basically hinders the movement of this one instead of just like one big bendy. As you can tell by the strain in my voice, it takes quite a bit of force to bend this. For the simple fact of doing this, I'm not sure if it's worth that squeeze, and technically it really is quite a bit of a squeeze to perform this. And this figure, the way it's designed, just does not look menacing to me. Unlike the original design for Skeletor, there's it. The face doesn't look menacing because of this. I don't know what that's all about. It's like a design fad style, and Skeletor should not be in that kind of a mindset. Like, how do I look fashionable? Oh, I'll make my cowl off to the side, and then I'll make my skirt off to the side. I feel like Skeletor is beyond that. So, and this arm, I suppose it makes sense that as a punishment, his Havoc staff was made a part of his character, but this just does not look menacing. I think that's it. It's like it just does not look menacing, right? And then what is the deal with these two legs? Because it's not like if it would make sense if for some reason when Skeletor was defeated, he had his legs amputated or his body was badly damaged, but none of that occurred to warrant such a drastic change. Like if you can do this kind of a change for Skeletor, then why make the lower half of his legs robotic in design? That doesn't make sense. Now, compare this to the Sorceress Teela. As you can see, as I'm adjusting his legs, I'm actually quite surprised by the range of movement. I don't have the same problem as I was having with the Sorceress Teela. Of course, the design of the skirt, while Sorceress Teela has this big thing in the front, and Technoskeletor, Havoc Skeletor, has this thing on the side. So I'm happy that it doesn't at least hinder the articulation. I like this part of the design. I wish if they were going to do this, have it detachable and have a replacement arm I think that would have saved the design a little bit more. This just looks horrifying and ugly to me. Um, and the fact that it's longer, it just throws me off. Yeah, it's just there's just doesn't look menacing to me. So the articulation for the head, it goes up like that, goes down like this, does tilt back and forth like that. Swivel can go swivel all the way. The arm can go out like so. That bicep double jointed in the elbow. I don't mind this design for the arm. Does go back and forth. He also comes with a close-fisted arm on this side. Here he is with a close-fisted hand. Um, let's see. What can I do? Like maybe I can just rip this off and replace it with something. So I'm really not a big fan of this one, but you know, that's the design of the figure. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it there, and I don't know why I would even bother modding this character. And then the design of the foot, right? So I kind of wish it had an extra articulation to be able to bend this, because I like right now the way it is. This is how it stands. So you have to kind of futz around with it quite a bit, and then move the ankle. I'm so afraid of breaking this ankle because it seems like the peg is so small. It does have the swivel or the twist, and I again, I don't know how he got by with this crown. I wouldn't think Hordak would actually give him a crown. I think Hordak would have used him as a pawn, but he would never become king on his own, not under Hordak. But I guess this Hordak's not that evil, and he's willing to share the power. But yeah, so that's Skeletor. I mean, does that look scary to you guys? I don't know. So my thoughts on this one. So these two characters are basically a continuation from the storyline from Masters of the Universe Netflix, right? So I'm at that stage with my toy collecting where I am kind of trying to save money, and with what Mattel did with these new Eternia Filmation Classic style figures, and then the switch from the Motu Origins to the Filmation style, I do tend to wonder, because I don't usually collect Origins, but I started to buy those to see what they're like. Um, if I'm gonna like them or not. I know that with this one, the new Eternia line, I'm in. And if they double up the figures, I know I'm gonna go ahead and buy them. But these new designs, because I'm not as nostalgic for these new designs, and I don't completely like the design that they're headed to. And since we haven't seen the storyline, I'm not sure if I'm into this one, so I'm kind of leaving it um, for now. But with the direction that they're going to, I just don't feel the enthusiasm, and I'm emotionally beginning to start to drift away from buying any of these products. I mean, even though, plus, it feels so different from the usual Mattel. It only comes with this hand and this headpiece, which I suppose that's all the character needs once we see it. But it seems so bare for a Mattel figure, because one of the things I liked about the Mattel Masters of the Universe was the different accessories, sometimes different head sculpts. It seems so packed. I'm pretty sure that in some of my reviews you'll see Masterverse is one of the lines that I'm really enthusiastic about. It seems like it wasn't disappointing, but this is kind of like a disappointingly bare figure. But then, if I remember correctly, that's what we got with Sorceress. But with Sorceress, at least it's holding that nostalgia kick for me, even though I had to cut off her skirt to make it look like the old Sorceress. So I don't know. I'm kind of still up in the air in this one, but I'm beginning to watch the line to see if I'm gonna pursue collecting it or not. So that's it, my review for the Sorceress Teela and Techno Arm, Techno Havoc Arm Skeletor. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found something instructional about it. But we'll go on and review some other stuff which I'm kind of more interested about. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.